What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bomb Squad, where we cover box office bombs and other things. But today, it's a box office explosion. It's a box office Oppenheimer. So last week we covered up Hurry Up Tomorrow, an underrated, underappreciated masterpiece that will stand the test of time.
Totally,
just
yeah.
like A Hard Day's Night and what's that music video? The Pink Floyd's The
Tommy?
Wall.
Oh, The Wall.
And
yeah.
also Tommy. Everyone talks about Tommy every single day of their lives. That's what's going to be Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Yeah, Rock and Roll High School.
And today we have an even bigger bomb. Not the biggest bomb. Sorry, Sydney Sweeney. No one's talking about you this week. But we have an even bigger bomb that we're talking about. We're going to find out, did it deserve to be a bomb? I'm going to say it don't. It don't deserve it. But we'll see when we come back from this commercial break. Capitalism. Cool. That was the quickest we've ever done that. I'm very proud of I didn't introduce myself or bomb throughout. It doesn't matter. Welcome back, guys. If you didn't know, my name is Andrew Hada. Thanks to all our new listeners. There's 700,000 more percentage-wise of you, which I think equates to 2. We got 2 this time.
It's like finally my other parent checked it out.
It equates to my grandparents.
They got up there. Weird.
It took them a while to get them to. Oh, look, Christmas time. There's the Grinch. He's here.
Simply having a wonderful.
He's here fighting with the Scream guy. But yes, thank you guys for joining us. I'm director Andrew Hada. Those are our films we just made. William Murdoch did the music for them. Joshua Epp helped in some way. He did the boom. That's why all of them had to be ADR completely.
That's probably true.
Actually, no, the one that you did the boom for was not that bad. It was Borderlands. But yeah, so welcome. Go enjoy our movies. Give us a like and a subscribe. Like we said, we cover underrated and underappreciated movies on here. And we just try to look at movies from a bigger perspective. I don't know why I'm summing up the whole podcast, but if you're new here, this is why.
Yeah.
We just try to look at it. We don't want to be like, oh, this movie sucks. I don't like it before I came in. It's like, nah, man. Let's
we get into the
director.
details.
Why did people not respond to this?
Yeah, and this one I am truly baffled. I can understand why you didn't like it, but I don't understand the hate it got. But so today we're talking about another bomb. Oh, go ahead.
Can I make an announcement really quick?
Yeah.
I just want anyone who's watching to know that I'm only wearing these because I have an eye condition right now, not because I think it looks cool. Continue.
He's one of the
Josh does think it looks cool. That's why he's wearing them, and
so cool.
William just stunted on him. He was like,
I just never wear them.
If I ever wore sunglasses during a podcast, I would feel humiliated and embarrassed. But anyway, let's get back to the podcast. We're off to a great start.
I'm saving all of you. Yeah.
For anyone not watching this, Andrew's wearing those cat ears also because he thinks they look really cool.
Oh yeah, hey guys, I know you guys love the cat ears. They're still going to be here for a couple more episodes, maybe. But hey, we love that you guys have been commenting on how much you like them. So keep it up. They're not going to go away. You're about to find out how stubborn Andrew can be.
Come on, guys.
Welcome to the Bomb Squad. And so today we're doing 2025 bombs. And maybe we'll do this every year. This year, there's a secret reason I wanted to do it, but I'll talk about it at the end. And it's directed by one of the best filmmakers of all time, not the second greatest filmmaker of all time,
not
Abel the Weeknd, but another one, Ethan Cohen. We're talking about Ethan Cohen and Tricia Cooke's husband and wife team. Their 2025 film, Honey Don't, starring Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans. Good job for you. Leah Above, Gabby Beans. I don't know. Gabby Beans is her assistant. She doesn't really have that big a part, but her name is Gabby Beans. There's no way I was going to say that.
Yeah, that's an amazing name. Oh my god.
And Talia Ryder, who, if you know who Talia Ryder is, not a lot of people do. She's barely starting, but she looks 100% different in every single movie. So that's interesting. And also Charlie Day. They were like, hey, you got a day to come on set and do nothing? He was like, sure. So yes, we're talking about 2025's Honey Don't. It was critically, and this is the second film by Tricia Cooke and Ethan Cohen. Ethan Cohen and what's the other Cohen's name? Joel Cohen. Sorry, I should know that. Ethan Cohen, Joel Cohen. They kind of separated for a while to make their own stuff. Joel Cohen went off to make Macbeth, and then he was like, "That's that. I'm good." And
yeah.
Ethan made he teamed up with his wife to write. They both wrote it together, and he directed. Their first one was called Drive Away Dolls, which should also check out. The second one was called Honey Don't. There was supposed to be a third one, but I don't think that's going to happen. This movie had a box office of 7.4 million and it had a budget of 50 million. So it didn't do that good.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully it gets rediscovered. But yes, it is a legit bomb, and so that's what we want to talk about. And also it has like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has something super low, incredibly low.
It's nothing you would expect from a Coen Brothers movie coming out.
Exactly.
It's so surprising.
And we're going to talk about that too. The expectations of the Coens and the curse of the curse of greatness. Me, Coen Brothers, Tarantino, we all have this similar problem. We're just too great. We have all our opinions are right, especially about Paul Dano.
The weight of the world on one's shoulders.
It's a very topical. It's a very topical episode. It's going to come in 2 weeks, so it's not going to be topical at all. But yes, it has a 45% on the tomato meter, and it has a 39% from the critic or from the audience scores. That means the audience didn't like it as much as the critic. So you can't even say this is good for them.
It's not even a Transformers style. Like,
it's okay. Well, the critics are wrong.
Like,
I mean, everyone is wrong. But yeah, so Honey Don't. How do we describe what the plot of Honey Don't is? I feel like last week it was like we're not really going to describe the plot at all because it's not important, and this one is like so much plot and it's also not that important.
But yeah, it's like there's 30 characters and none of them interact in any way.
Yeah.
So Honey Don't,
which is a very Coen Brothers move.
True.
I feel like that's a very Coen-y
you see
thing
the
to
do. Yeah.
Honey Don't stars Margaret Qualley as Honey Donahue. That's why they call her Honey Don't, because her license plate says Honey Don't. She's a private investigator. She shows up to the scene of a crime of someone who had come into her office, but they didn't hire her. And so she's trying to find out the killer of whoever killed this dead driver. It's not really involving her. She just decides to get involved. And while that's happening, there's also an evil priest who is there any other kind? He's not a priest. He's a minister. So do my same joke, which is really funny, but put the word minister instead of priest. The priests of the Catholicism have never done anything wrong.
The point is,
according to what I've seen,
Protestants are the bad ones. That's
right.
Catholics always do everything right, from what I've heard.
Yeah, the Protestants are the real manipulators here.
As long as you don't look at history between 14 BC and now.
Before the beginning of Catholicism and now.
From 0 BC until right now, if you don't take anything into account, you've done really good. But yes, so she's trying to find this murderer. And I kind of forgot that that's the inciting incident of this movie. And so that's basically what the plot is. It takes place in Bakersfield, California. That looks surprisingly like Albuquerque, New Mexico. But yes, what did you guys think of Honey Don't before we get into it? Or should we just get into it? You tell me one.
I mean, I would say, what you were saying earlier, it's like there's a lot of plot and it's a little bit incomprehensible, which is a very Coen-y thing, which has worked in the past. And I think that works in the past because there's always like this driving force of weird kind of undercurrent in the ones where it works. This one, I felt like it didn't quite have the steam to kind of pull off a plotless narrative in a way. So there's a lot of good stuff, but I felt a little
underwhelmed.
We'll get into it. A little underwhelmed. Yeah.
I almost think it's like, obviously, you don't know like what it's like working when it's both Coens versus one, but I always think about Inside Llewyn Davis, maybe secretly their best film.
Such a good film.
Where they talk about how like, oh, we had this whole through line of him looking for the cat, and only after we finished it did we realize like we didn't need that. The movie's like strong enough without any kind of like plot that he has to follow. This movie almost takes the long rest and it's like, no, she needs a through line. She should not be ping-ponging into like 7 different situations. It almost needed like a little bit more structure to it,
Also, that's very funny because like the through line of the cat is such a non-entity.
I agree.
Inside Llewyn Davis, like it matters not even a little. He loses like 3 times.
It's so like nothing in that, and that you almost see them being like, "Oh, we don't need a through line then because that was pointless." And then in this one, it's like, "No, that you need to hold on to something,"
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think one of the things that you have to appreciate when you go into the Coens, especially when they're individual, is that the Coen sense of humor is like it ranges between being like the most clever like the most clever thing in the world, and the dumbest. Like if
So,
you
like,
watch
Looney
like,
Tunes.
if you watch
Yeah.
Big Lebowski, it's like some of that stuff is like, wow, that's really ingenious that they thought of this. Like when he throws out the bag of clothes and it's like nothing, and they find out that it's full of underwear, and then it's also like Brett asking, or like Brett not being able to watch without giving $100 for a blowjob. Like it's just like, which one of these do you want to
Right.
be
It's just
on?
so silly. Yeah. But it
And
works so well. Yeah.
and so I think you have to understand what kind of movie you're coming in, because I think a lot of people with Drive Away Dolls and with Honey Don't, they kind of expected more of a No Country for Old Men type film, especially because like they kind of have that same, they're criminal based, they have like the murders, but this is more Raising Arizona, and I think Drive Away Dolls and Honey Don't are at least Ethan's. I mean, Joel doesn't really have one, but it's Ethan's most ridiculous movie. Like they don't really exist in the real world. They exist in like a pop culture world.
Yeah,
But we'll
they're
talk
just,
about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Lost in
cartoon
Time.
characters.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
So the first thing that starts is there's a car crash. Honey shows up to this thing and she's like, "Who's this?" Oh, then Charlie Day plays a cop who's constantly hitting on Honey, and
Actually,
Honey is
I like
a
their
lesbian.
dynamic.
Oh, really?
like,
I thought that was the one weak link. I thought it was like,
she's a
the
lesbian.
joke did not work at all, and they try it every single time.
I think it's
Yeah.
because, and I think the reason
I think
they
it's just
got
like Charlie Day. Yeah.
is
Which
he
is
ha-
very possible.
he has a
Yeah,
good
I do
fake,
like him.
a fake noir voice.
Yeah.
Like he does the
Yeah.
really good like, "Hey, what do you mean, sweets?" like type
Yeah.
of voice, and it's like, oh, you almost need everyone bringing that to this movie.
And
you
I
know?
think that
Yeah.
I think Charlie Day is in a different movie is the problem. 'Cause he's like everyone. Well, I think it's also weird that they all have very thick accents for really no reason, because they're in Bakersfield, California.
It feels like they're in Texas. Like it's
does.
extremely Bakersfield. Like they do not let you forget that it's in Bakersfield. It's kind of like Boston with the town, but like it truly feels like New Mexico or Texas.
Yeah, like why
I-
does everyone
Why
dress like
I
a
think
cowboy
what
in
doesn't
Bakersfield,
help,
Yeah.
especially if you're from that area, and this is actually funny because it shares this with Borderlands. So two great directors with two great ideas.
Meaning, again,
The opening
know.
credits is just B-roll of this like New Mexico like streets with like the credits kind of like superimposed over like a movie theater,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's just like if you've ever been in New Mexico, all of these streets are the most New Mexico streets you've ever.
and
seen.
that scene is
you know?
particularly funny because like the first 5 shots are of Bakersfield. So it's like you see like the oil rigs, it's really cool, it's super funny,
Yeah.
it's super interesting, and then they cut to the New Mexico shots and you're like, we're not even, it's kind of like when you saw the Stranger Things, like the first season they went into New Mexico, they're like, hey, we got to get to the school in Indiana, and then they would walk into like an adobe building. It's like, that's not Indiana, guys. Come on, guys. So she's on the hunt to find out who killed her. She drives to her. I want to say this before you guys start. If you watch this movie, know that a lot of these storylines that come up are like the thinnest connection that you've ever seen in your whole life, and a
Yeah.
lot of them do not matter. So
They're like
she goes
Billy
into,
Eichner. I'm like, oh yeah,
she
this.
goes
Right.
into her office, and Billy Eichner's there, and he wants her to find out if her boyfriend's cheating. And his boyfriend's cheating, and also there's like, it clearly takes place. It does the Coen Brothers thing where it like supposed to take place now, but everyone acts and drives
very
cars
vintage.
from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a weird COVID joke that just feels very out of place. But I feel like they wanted to make that joke, but then they like it. You can't do a timeless kind of setting and then have a very timely joke, much like this
Right.
podcast. And so it just doesn't
Totally.
really make sense. Yeah, like our podcast is golden in time. That's why no one's gonna understand those hilarious jokes I made earlier. And so then and then it's a weird thing where Honey is like, oh, you don't really want to hire me. You know your boyfriend's cheating on you. You don't don't waste your money.
Yeah, she like tries to talk. She's like a good person. She's not
Yeah.
trying to like take advantage of him.
It's trying to show. And also, here's another weird thing. So, my favorite actor of all time, Gabby Beans, plays Honey's assistant, Spider. I bet you even looked at her name, like, your name's Gabby Beans. Well, we can't have you have a less weird name than that. You're gonna be Spider.
Spider.
And by the way, if I ever have an office, I want my assistant to also be called Spider. So I could be like, "Hey, Spider, come in here. Come in here and give me some tap coda." But anyway, so Spider comes in, and I feel like this role was written as an old person, because like her whole role as Spider is she's like, "Well, I'm the assistant. Shouldn't I be getting coffee, or do you want
Right.
me to make copies?" And Honey's like, "Nah, you don't have to do anything. Just stand at the door." But like, you think maybe they're in a relationship, but they're not. So it's like,
Yeah.
why is she your assistant if you don't really need an assistant?
Yeah, and she kind of brings like Watson vibes almost. Like she's
Yeah.
almost like the like.
Yeah, but
We'll get into it later, but she's
not
almost
in
like
it
she wants to be
enough
too into it.
And
be
I
that,
feel like
yeah.
once they met this Gabby Beans person, they were like, well, let's give her a bigger role. And they almost like, we should have just made her the sidekick. But by the time they were like ready to go, it's like, it's too late. We can't do that. So
Yeah.
she's just there kind of being the sidekick sometimes, but not really.
Yeah.
And so then she takes the job to be with Billy to find the cheater.
She's gonna catch the cheater for Billy
Mhm.
Eichner's boyfriend, because he's playing gay in this
Reluctantly.
movie for some reason.
Yeah. And then she goes to her house. We're learning a lot about Honey. She goes to her house. She or not her house. She goes to her sister's house. Her sister
house.
has
Yeah.
And see, here's one of the things, and like I'll say I do like this movie, but here's one of the things about this movie. So she goes to her sister's house. She's talking to her sister, and her sister has 9 kids, I think, and she's pregnant again with another kid. And one of the kids, it's like her niece, maybe. It's either her niece or her nephew. They don't make it 100% clear if it's important. But she's like,
True.
"Hey, honey, can we get married?" And Honey's like, "No, we can't because you're too young." And he's like, "Oh," or they're like, "Oh, well, I still want to get married." He's like, "Well, we still can't be." Or he's like, "What if I get older?" And Honey's like, "No, because there's laws against marrying your uncle and aunt." And so then she's like, and then the kid is like, "Oh, okay, well, we can change the rules. That's fine." And it's like, why are you going so hard?
Dude, this
on
conversation
this
lasted for 10
marrying?
minutes.
It takes so long. It's like, it's kind of a cute thing when your like nephew or niece doesn't really understand like relationships and how like what goes into getting
Right.
married, because they're too young to even understand.
Yeah.
They just know that marriage is like where two people live together and they're
Hang
best
out all the
friends.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But like the fact that it goes on so long, it's like, honey, what are you like? Every relationship that Honey has with her assistant, with her niece, it's like, why is it so weird? And I think it doesn't help. Like this scene might have been cuter, because another thing you need to know going in, this movie is super sexual. Like the whole
Dude,
movie,
this is a dirty movie.
It's like,
Yeah.
and for
This is
really
a
no
very
reason.
raunchy
Like,
film.
But like,
Yeah.
like
I know.
we haven't
it's all like
introduced
Looney Tunes sexuality. Like
Yeah.
it's so like silly.
We haven't introduced Chris Evans, but when we do, we'll talk about the
You'll
sexuality.
know.
Yeah.
I do like that Honey is like, one of the things is that she doesn't live poor, but she's not trying to be rich. So it's like she gives her money to the sister. She's helping the sister
Yeah.
out. That's where we meet Talia Ryder, who is also Honey's niece, but she's a little bit older. She's like has a boyfriend who sucks. They're all poor,
Yeah.
so she like works at a
Yeah.
fast food place, and like at the beginning, she's like, the sister is like, "Hey, you got to be home by midnight," and Talia Ryder is like, "I'm not coming home tonight," and then they both kind of just like, "Yeah, I mean, that's all. We can't do anything about it. Like, I have 9 other kids
Yeah.
and I'm pregnant, so."
But then the sister's like, she looks at Honey and is like, "Don't say anything." Like after her daughter just like told her to pretty much piss off, and she looks at Honey and is like, "Don't say anything. Don't comment on my parenting." And then Honey's like, "I haven't commented on anything since we were kids." And it's like, that's the kind of line where it's like, spoiler alert, that doesn't really come back up again. And it's like, what did you mean by that? Like, I don't understand this relationship between these sisters quite enough
Yeah.
to like really
Yeah.
understand what that line means.
And it's kind of weird because the sister doesn't really come back until near the end. But the sister and
Yeah.
her family are kind of an important part. Like, it's kind of the driving force of the story, but we don't know that till later. And they don't know
Yeah.
that till later. I don't know. And so then we cut to this is where we introduce Chris Evans. Chris Evans plays a Protestant preacher, and every single scene he's in starts with him having sex with someone in his congregation. Like in this very
Yeah.
first scene, he's having sex. He's making her hold a mirror so that he can see himself and her, and he's telling her to bend it down so that he can see her bosom, since
like
we're still on YouTube, her bosom
just
shake.
to show like
it's like
how
why
like
though?
depraved he is, but
Yeah.
also dumb. I don't know.
Just
Yeah.
very vain.
Yeah. And so then one of his henchmen comes in, which again, it's not really explained why he has henchmen. Like we don't.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, he's
the
a
fact
drug
that,
dealer too.
well, the fact that Chris Evans is so young kind of hurts this a little bit, because like if he was played by Ed Harris, then you'd be like, oh, this preacher guy has been here for 50 years and he's just kind of like shaped the town in his image, you know?
Right.
But
he's
because
like a bad sheriff.
Yeah.
That's also a preacher kind of thing.
Right. But with Chris Evans, it's like, are you like, did you take over? Like, why are you getting a pass? Because you're so clearly a criminal.
Yeah.
That, like, everyone's okay with this?
Yeah, it's not like he's not like secretly evil. He's like openly like a drug lord evil. Like
Yeah.
It's just it's a very weird character for Chris Evans, who's just kind of playing a Chris Evans type. Doesn't really fit, you know. Like,
I think he does a good job of it. I just don't think the role makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, maybe just if he was older, I could see it almost working with the same acting.
And maybe he is older, he just looks young.
So Chris Evans.
They should have used his 80-year-old makeup from Avengers.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Come
on.
Just have him.
But I do like that the henchman is like Big Lebowski coded. Like he looks like I thought it was the same actor at first who comes
I thought it was
like,
too.
Hits the Big Lebowski.
See, and that was
take the rug.
It was such a Cohen's line where because his henchman runs in and he's like, "Little Joey's dead," and he goes, "Big Little Joey or Little Joey?" And it's like, what a dumb line that they're both named Little Joey.
Big Little Joey or Little Joey
Little
Jr.?
Joey goes Little Joey Jr. Yeah,
and they say Little Joey Jr. And
he's overdosed.
Yeah, he's overdosed. And then there's like a scene, and this is a very funny scene. This made me laugh out loud. The scene, like they go find his body, and then Little Joey, the dad, comes and finds him and is like trying to take him somewhere to bury him, but he's like dragging him across the parking lot. Then he has to open the gate of the door. And he's just like holding a body, like looking around, like trying to figure out how to open the door. And it's like so pointless, but it's a very funny part because they're just watching him. And like I think at one point Chris Evans goes, "Where's he taking them?" And he goes, "I don't know, back to the res or something." It's like, what are you guys? What's happening to this movie? What's the plot?
Right. So there's a res. Okay.
Yeah, and so then Honey goes to, and this is also, let me finish. Let me describe this thing. Honey goes to the missing person's house, whose name Mia. That'll make it easier. Her name is Mia. She's such a non-entity. I had to look on Wikipedia. But she goes to her house, talks to the mom, and they find some like weird bondage sex stuff in there. And she's like, "Oh, is this part of the congregation?" So it's like, well, we already know she's part of the church. We assume Chris Evans is bad because of everything we've learned about Chris Evans. Like, open and shut case. What is the problem? And then there's also a French. There's a French assassin.
It's his French drug connection,
right.
And I do like this because when he like goes, she's in the pool, right?
No, she's in a lake. Oh yeah, she's in a pool the first time.
Also,
she's around a lot of water.
The transition to the scene has this song sung by Margaret Qualley playing on the radio.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that happens a couple times.
I guess Jack Antonoff, her husband, produced the music or whatever. It's like, man, they're just really throwing it all in here. But
they're really like
I didn't know they were married.
Paid.
But
yeah.
her,
you didn't know that?
Yeah, no.
This French woman in the pool, her sunglasses as she turns make like sun pupils, and it does look really cool and like menacing. It's like her eyes are like white, you know, like from like the sun reflection. I don't know. There's a lot of like little flourishes like that in this movie.
See, and again, like that would make more sense if everyone acted like they're in California. Like I could see a French woman just like randomly hanging out in a Bakersfield hotel. But like, why are you in Texas or New Mexico?
We also didn't bring up his henchman is very Australian.
Chris
Evans. Everyone is just completely from a different place.
So keep all that in mind, because now we're gonna go back to Billy Eicher's boyfriend, who's at a hotel bar. He has a date with someone, but he's trying to get drugs for that date because it's just a sex date. Because no one in this movie is ever not about to have sex. And then there's a guy, the dealer Hector, goes to like he's like, hey man, you can't put anything on your tab anymore. We need you to pay because you owe like $6,000. And so they go outside and they're like arguing, and the guy, Billy Iger's boyfriend, is like, okay, give me I'll just like give it to me now. I'll pay you next time, and I will blow you.
Yeah, and the guy doesn't even say yes, and he just goes for
starts.
it.
And he just goes for it. So then they accidentally kill him, and he runs away.
Yeah, Hector freaks out and like
he pushes him. They fight. He like
and then he runs him over with his car like twice.
He runs him over in a way where the body is dragging for like 100 feet as it like won't come off, and it is pretty funny. Like it is absurd, but
and Ethan Cohen was definitely the violent one.
I enjoyed that
for sure.
Yeah. So then that happens. He runs away, and then also in the meantime, Honey also talks to the evidence locker cop who is played by Aubrey Plaza. She has a crush on Honey, and I do want to say something. I feel like I don't know if Aubrey Plaza. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm about to say something about this movie. Aubrey Plaza. I don't know if it was directing or if it was her choices, but she is so bad in this role that it doesn't make sense whatsoever.
I mean, this character is so weird.
I think that might be part of it. It's out of her. It's a challenge for her, and she failed. Like, so they meet, and then they meet first at the room, and then Honey goes to a cop bar, and they meet there. And just to show you how sexual this movie is, they're in a full cop bar. It's full of people. It's filled with extras.
It's crowded. Yeah.
They're at the bar and they're about to order. They're ordering, or before they order, they just start, let's say, touching themselves in private areas.
They start giving each other hand jobs.
Yeah.
In public.
Yeah. And like also,
is it going both ways, or is it just Aubrey Plaza doing it
to her? I think.
Oh, I thought it was going both ways. It's hard to tell because like obviously they're not going to show it. But
you're not really sure what's happening at first, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
It really does take a while, and then you're like, but why are they doing it in the bar? Like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't the cops noticing? They're surrounded by people. They even do an order. Like, they order with the bartender.
Yeah. And it's like, if this movie would have been like totally cartoonish, like this movie isn't really that elevated as far as like performance is concerned. Like, whenever they meet, like whenever Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley meet for the first time, you sense some real subtlety there. Like, it's not like subtle, but it's like not over the top. Like, we love each other. I can't get enough of you. Like, where it's like, I feel like in some of the Coen brothers stuff, it's like there might have been if this would have happened in Burn After Reading, that might have made more sense. Because that movie, everyone's over the top and crazy. But this one, they're pretty normal. So when that happens, it's like a very wild situation, but they're so normal that it's like, what? Is this the real world or is this a crazy world?
Yeah, not only that, but like Aubrey Plaza, because there's like, again, to show the confusion of her character, when they first meet, like they're just kind of, it establishes they've talked before. But Aubrey Plaza is treated like, okay, thank you for your time. I can get that for you. Don't worry. And then Margaret Qualley starts to walk away, and then Aubrey Plaza's like, I love those click clack. I love to hear those click clacking of your shoes. And it's like, what? Like, you just made it seem like you guys are very professional, but now you're hating on her, but still in that tone. And then they go to the bar, and like it's like you just waited for her to turn around before you even complimented her, but now you're like openly hooking up with her in the middle of an open bar. So just like that's like how, and then it cuts to the next day. Well, then they hook up at her
that night,
and then they cuts to the next day, and Margaret Qualley is literally washing the most amount, like a huge amount of sex toys in the faucet, in like the sink, which it's like, I mean, that feels like a very Coen Brothers thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like they like to add like the mundane parts of life, especially like when it involves sex. Like I think of Ricky Treehorn and the best scene in Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like
paper.
Where you think, oh, this is, I mean, that's just something that happens. But like again, it's like the movie itself isn't like, the plot doesn't really rely on sex or even like love really. It's just like, like if you see Chinatown, that plot is all about sex, like bad type of sex, children, good type of sex. And so but like this one, it's like the main story is about a car crash and someone getting murdered. It has nothing really to do with that.
And it's like,
Yeah,
I feel like they try
it's
and
very
like do this thing.
disparate. Yeah.
Right. Like they're trying to do this thing where it seems like Honey has a hard time like forming like intimacy with people.
Yeah.
So it's like she hooks up with people and she's kind of like this lost soul kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't really get what she's getting out of this relationship with Aubrey Plaza. Like it's like she's not like that hasn't been built up enough to where like this 3 minute sex scene is really showing me a lot about Margaret Qualley's character.
And
like it's kind of like, okay, so this is what she's doing, but how does this affect her? Why does she want to do this? Like it didn't show her like being super depressed earlier or like something where she would like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
no,
I don't understand
know.
what this is doing for her. Yeah.
And there's another scene. Oh, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, there's a lot of scenes like that where it's like, why is like this should be teaching me something about Honey, but it ends up not really teaching me anything. If anything, I'm more confused.
It's almost the trope of like the detective, like the hard-nosed detective, just sleeping with women, or almost like that show Banshee, where he's like sleeping with like three.
Well, like
women
that's a
episode.
Norse.
That's like what
trope.
you get.
Yeah.
But it's almost like she even talks about it in a later scene with her, like, oh, I like almost never get to like the second date. I don't connect to people, and it's almost like, then why this? I don't know. It's like it's showing us one thing and telling us something.
And
else,
see, I think that's kind of Aubrey Plaza and the writing's fault a little bit, because I think like if Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley had way better chemistry, it might have worked a little better.
Yeah.
Like honestly, Margaret Qualley has better chemistry with Chris Evans than she does with Aubrey Plaza. And so I think like that really hurts the entire movie, because like you're supposed to accept that these two have fallen for each other and have allowed each other to be vulnerable, but like why though? Like Aubrey Plaza sucks. Like they even kind of make her dress terrible. Like her hair is like greasy, you know? And it's like, but so like why does Margaret Honey Doan, who's like the hottest girl in Bakersfield, why does she want to hook up with this like Urkel type cop? You know, like she doesn't seem to like cops. She seems to be very outgoing and adventurous. So why is she like trying to date Oscar the Grouch in the police department?
And it's like Aubrey Plaza could have made it work because like she's a great comedic actress. Like she's done a lot of awesome things, and so it's like I don't know, like her playing this role in a Cohen. I keep on saying Cohen Brothers, but like in an Ethan.
I know you want to say both of them.
Yeah, but it's like this could have been like it's weird that it doesn't work. Like it's like she could have been this like Urkel cop that's like charmingly serious but also goofy at the same time, like that. But it's like she just played it so. Yeah, like
so
we're saying,
silly,
kind of
almost
boring.
like the bar scene almost breaks the spell, because it's like, oh, she's not like a shy Urkel. They're literally like doing sex in public,
which does,
so it's
and
like,
we'll talk about what might have been happening near the end. But let's start rushing through this, because we're at 30 minutes, and we're like on the third scene.
We need to cut to the most violent.
I commend you for knowing
movie.
This plot.
And another scene that reminded me of...
It's such a complicated plot. Yes.
Another scene that reminded me of Borderlands.
Oh, go ahead. You can talk about this.
Okay, now we can...
It cuts to Hector's grandmother's house.
Yes.
And
I wasn't even going to bring this up because it matters so little, but it is a weird scene to talk about.
It is an insanely violent scene.
This is one of the best scenes.
It's funny because the house, if you've never been in the house of a New Mexico grandmother, you think that that's an exaggeration. But if anything, that's like too subdued with the amount of like Jesuses and stuff on the walls.
And I'll say that like the Mexican grandma is dressed like she just walked out of like a Billy the Kid Western. And that is 100% accurate for Mexican grandmas. That's how they've dressed since 1800, and that's how they will continue to dress until the end
colorful
of time.
Gowns,
like, it's not changing.
But no, Chris Evans has sent the Australian to go kill Hector because of the botched blowjob drug deal situation.
Yeah, because Hector also did a bad job of covering anything up.
And
a bartender saw him kill.
This is also a funny scene because Hector goes out to hang laundry, and it's a really long scene of him nervous, thinking someone will just appear over the hill, and then he goes back inside to find that his grandmother has been brutally killed.
And I will say the laundry scene was very reminiscent of the Jessica Biel remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I just want to make that connection. One more Texas Chainsaw, El Paso.
It's a lot of Well, the connection was from a different movie, from Kill Bill, before we started the
I
podcast.
know. I forgot that we weren't
So,
doing that.
guys, if you were in the room before we started recording, you would understand that reference. Much like Honey Don't, it feels a little bit too outside of the box, but that's what we're bringing. That's the quality we're bringing.
Dude, I'm getting heady with these sunglasses, bro.
Then Hector, he's like, oh, he ends up killing the Australian guy. And then he goes to try to
kills him with a fork through the chin.
It's a pretty hardcore scene. Yeah.
It was good.
There's a part where the Australian guy keeps trying to stab Hector and he keeps stabbing the grandma again accidentally. It's like, man, this movie is so violent.
Yeah.
So then he tries to go kill Chris Evans. And Chris Evans eventually, because Chris Evans is, of course, having sex this soon with two women.
With women in the bondage gear from earlier, if you forgot.
And so eventually, it doesn't even, Hector has his eyes closed when he's trying to shoot him. And then Chris Evans just moves out of the way because Hector's eyes are closed. And then he kills them. And then I do like this scene because he kills them and then he looks at the two women who are visibly traumatized and shaken. And he goes,
yeah,
a lot of help you guys were.
Yeah.
And then, again, remember, we're trying to find the murder of Mia, who has not been mentioned in 45 minutes.
And then we switch to the fast food place where the niece works.
Yes. So then the niece is seeing a creepy old... No, before that. So the niece shows up at Honey's house because her boyfriend beat the shit out of her. And she's like, please don't tell my mom because my mom will get super mad and that's the last thing she needs right now. And so Honey's like, okay, I won't tell him if you stop seeing the boyfriend. And so the niece is like, okay, I got to go to work. She goes to the fast food restaurant where there's a creepy old man who's watching her the whole time. He won't leave. And her friend is totally me because she's like, dude, this guy's just watching us. Actually, I would be the niece, but I wish I was the other girl because the other girl's like, who cares, bro? He's at a McDonald's.
He's probably homeless.
I don't give a fuck.
He's just a weird homeless guy.
The niece is like, oh man, what does he want? Like, he's so creepy. And the other one's like, hey man, I got 45 minutes left on my shift. I don't give a fuck. So then the niece is leaving. She's getting ready to go
to the bus station. The guy's standing
and then the guy shows up and he's like, I love you. And he keeps telling her that he loves her. And so the niece is freaked out. She runs away. And then she disappears. No one can find her. And then that's what Honey, they bring Honey back in. They're like, hey, we can't find the niece. Can you see her? And then she's about to leave. And then the old man is there. And then we find out that the old man is Honey's dad. And so it's that.
Oh, yeah, dad. Yeah, he's the grandfather of the niece, right?
It's the grandfather of the niece. And then he can just talk normal. They have a conversation. There's no reason why he was just constantly telling her he loves her, why he didn't introduce himself to her. Why she didn't know who he was. I mean, we know that Honey and the sister don't really talk to the dad anymore because the dad is apparently was pretty abusive and shitty. But we don't know when that took place because they haven't explained it. So for all we know, the dad knows at least the niece's kind of name because he calls her. The niece's name is Corinne, and she calls her Karen.
Yeah.
So he knows that she exists. He just doesn't So it's a weird thing, and then Honey's like, "Hey, I hate you. Go away."
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he does. That's not.
And then
it's a comedically dramatic scene.
That's the end of that.
And there's the scene whenever Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley are talking, and they both talk about their dads, and it's that's kind of their shared connection,
right?
Because Aubrey Plaza's like, my dad was military, and he used to be beat me and stuff, and then he left. He died in battle, and Margaret Qualley's like, yeah, my dad sucked too, and so it's this seems like a big scene. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, because Aubrey Plaza's like, my dad died, and Margaret Qualley's like, oh, I wish my dad was dead.
Right. And so he's breaking down in her table, and he's like, you're gonna really miss me if you leave our relationship like this, because she's kicking him out, and so it seems like it's gonna be this kind of major scene sort of, which I guess it's also kind of a Coen Brothers trope where they make something seem like a big deal even when it's not. But I don't know, it had a weird tone, this sadness of this old man. It didn't quite hit the comedy, it didn't quite hit the drama anyway. It was just a weird vibe.
I kind of see, and I don't know if this, because obviously he wrote this movie with his wife, right? They wrote this movie together, right? Am I crazy? Ethan?
I think that's true.
Yeah. She wrote it with him.
I do think like there's almost like a trope in a lot of media where it's like, estranged family kind of bonding together. But I think in real life, especially if you're like part of like a minority, like an LGBT thing, a lot of times it's like, no, you really do have to cut bad people out of your life. And I almost feel like this scene is that, to be like, no, like, screw this guy, and it's like, some parents are bad,
And I do feel like both this one and Drive Away Dolls kind of have that thing where it's like, that's something, like, in movies especially, you have this idea that your dad, like if you're gay or you're, whatever, something that bigoted people hate you for, and your parents are against you. There's this like Hollywood idea that eventually they'll come back and they'll see the error of their ways. They'll green book it and decide that you're actually a person. Where in reality, like sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes that guy votes for Trump, and then he votes for him again 4 years later, and he votes for him again 4 years later. And so that's the whole thing about, like, I know right now everyone's like, oh, we got to reach across the aisle and be friends with them. It's like, why? They have more than enough evidence to know Trump sucks, so they're openly okay with it,
Yeah.
Not to get too political on here.
Well, this movie will literally bring up Trump very shortly, so it's almost like you almost want to say the movie is making a statement about
and I do appreciate about both of them. I do feel like it's interesting, and we'll talk a lot more about this at the end, but I do think it's interesting that both Drive Away Dolls and Honey Don't do not feel like they're going for the straight cis male or even female audience.
Oh, totally.
It's very clearly targeted towards LGBTQ and especially lesbian audiences, which I think is cool that they're doing this, but I think maybe make it a little funny. So then Honey goes to the boyfriend. The boyfriend's a dead end. So then she goes and finds, she goes to the job. She sees the bus stop where Corinne was. And then she sees a bus that drives by that has Chris Evans' face on it. It's like, come here if you're lost. So she assumes that's where he is. So then she goes to the church. And as she's about to knock on the door, then we cut to inside where the French assassin is now. They just finished having sex with her and Chris Evans, because Chris Evans wrote it in his contract that no scene could ever start without him at the beginning or in the middle of sex.
Having he didn't really. I don't know if that's true. It's never like good. It's like this is like it's always gross, horrible sex in some way.
And I do like this scene because it almost kind of like hints at something that was like could have been a bigger world. Because he's like, oh, what you always said that we would never sleep together. What changed your mind? And she's like, well, I just wanted you to do it one last time. And he's like, oh, we're never gonna do this again. And she's like, you're not. And she pulls out a gun and she like points it at him. He's like, ho, ho, ho. And then she shoots him in the face.
Did they show him? Did they show her shoot him?
They don't show her shoot him, but they do express. And I think this. Oh, go ahead, William. I think you're gonna.
Well, this is another weird part where it's like because she pulls the gun out and then it cuts to Margaret Qualley in the parking lot, and you hear the gunshot, and so it's like this. What?
Right.
It's like this crazy. Did she? Didn't she? And then that's all I'm going to say for right now. We'll get into it.
Yeah. Well, and then Margaret Qualley's literally about to open the door. She hears a gunshot, and then it immediately. Oh well, and then she sees the French assassin on a moped, because of course the Coen Brothers movie, on a moped leave, and then it immediately cuts to her talking to Charlie Day, and Charlie Day's like, "Yeah, we can't investigate based off sounds," and she's like, "Well, I saw a woman leave," and he's like, "I don't know," and it's like you guys didn't. A, Margaret, you didn't like knock on the door or try to go in after that, and B, Charlie, you didn't check on this. Like you guys didn't even call the ministry and be like, "Hey."
He thought about what would make the scene interesting and just did the opposite. It's so weird.
It's like, why make this mystery? Why if
you're
going to be so violent, why not show the shot?
Right. Especially like, because then it leaves up the like, oh, is he still alive? Like maybe she just shot in the air. And,
exactly. Like it's like this seems cool, and then it's like I didn't know when they revealed that she actually killed him, but it's like why do this mystery?
I think it's the thing where they don't ever actually reveal. It's more so like
I don't think they do either.
Well, they do, but if you watch a lot of movies, they don't, because they do tell you that he got shot. But like in a movie or even in a TV show, if you don't see someone get shot, you assume that it's like a secret reveal or something.
It's like falling off a cliff. You're Yeah.
They don't like. No, that's it for Chris Evans. He's not in the movie anymore, despite him being the main antagonist of the entire film up until this point. He's gone, and so then Margaret Qualley is just this is the last 20-30 minutes of this film.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, dude. She goes to the niece's boyfriend's
Oh,
trailer.
yeah, I just skipped over that.
Yeah.
Oh, I only wanted to bring that up because she literally beats him up, then puts a "I have a vagina and I vote" sticker over his MAGA sticker on his car.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, don't do that, Cohen's. Just
also
cut
like
this
it's too
scene out of the
late.
movie.
Yeah, it's too late for this.
You can't introduce this at this late hour.
And it's also like anytime, like again, it's like you can't do this when Honey's literally wearing bell-bottom pants. You know, like I forgot that this.
Yeah, it's like I keep thinking this is like 1993. Yeah.
Right.
Like, what? I don't even think anyone uses a cell phone in this entire film.
Yeah.
No, but then Honey is actually. She cuts to her using a cell phone. She's like, "Hey, can you tell me where Aubrey Plaza's house is?" And the girl's like, "Yeah, sure." The cops apparently just give you any information you ever want.
Yeah. I was wondering how she got the address.
Oh, she's like, they show her on the phone. She's like, I just want to check up on her. And whoever's on the phone with her is like, yeah, sure, here you go.
Yeah, here it is.
And then she's driving and she notices that the bus stop is also near Aubrey Plaza's house, which is not as explicit as I just said it. But if you understand the implication, you know where this is going. She goes to Aubrey Plaza's house and it's an old house. And Aubrey Plaza, I want to say she's acting weird. But she's essentially acting like she's been acting this entire movie, like exactly the same. So it's like, okay. And then you find out that Aubrey Plaza is actually the killer. Her dad was, I don't even know, like Honey like goes through her yearbook and finds out she's a youth pastor. Or she used to be a youth pastor in high school.
Yeah, she had like a religious quote in her.
Like
she
was
God put us on the
part
earth
of the
to do
church
stuff. Yeah.
Previously. That's why she's crazy. Is that... That's
well,
what I got
the
from
dad was the preacher of the church originally. And then when Chris Evans came, I guess he corrupted it. So now she's trying to cleanse everyone who's too full of sin. And it's essentially like that character from, or like a robot where it's like they just decided everyone was too full of sin, so they're going to kill her. She's 7. This is a lesbian comedy remake of 7. She's decided that everyone has too much sin, and so she's killing them one by one.
Right.
Like
but only one person that we know.
But they also don't focus on it enough for the movie to be about that. So it's more like she's like a Law and Order episode serial killer.
Yeah,
you're like,
it does.
Wait, so just assume that she killed Mia at the beginning then?
Yeah, she says I killed her and made it look like an accident.
Oh, dude, I just now put that together.
Yeah. Which is like, what was the French assassin doing in town? Like, she was just hanging out.
The whole drug dealing. This really is a movie where I do think he had like 10 characters that like, this sounds cool. It's like, do they go together? I'll figure it out. You know, it's almost like they're like, they had the character ideas before they had like the story idea. Because none of that connects at all, you know?
Yeah. So then they fight and then Honey wins and then that's pretty much it. But so here's the thing about this movie. I'll say that I like this movie a lot. But it does like, you know, a lot of people, I kind of see this with a lot of film students where they'll be like, oh, I'm going to make this movie like a giallo film. And really what they mean is I'm going to have red filters on set in my film.
Right.
Or they're like, oh, this is going to be Tarantino. And what they really mean is someone's going to talk about coffee for 20 minutes in a diner. You know, like,
for a bunch. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm not really like trying to emulate this style. I'm just trying to emulate like the Family Guy version of this style. I will say that this movie, Honey Don't, it feels like they called this, Tricia Cooke and Ethan Cohen called this their B-movie pulp lesbian series. And it really feels like that. I think like a lot of the reception to this, like being so negative, is like if you're not ready to go see a pulp movie, you're just not ready for how irrelevant. Because if you read those old pulp novels, that's how they are. Like the whole detective story is like 100 pages, and then she solves it based on some random clue she just finds on the street, or the detective solves it.
Right.
Like in the last 10 pages.
Isn't really a detractor.
Yeah. And I think the problem with this is that it's just not like you watch Big Lebowski, and there are like Big Lebowski is funny enough to kind of carry the fact that like the dude doesn't really do anything and doesn't help or even hurt the investigation at all. He's just like a third party that's not really like this is the line of what's happening, and he's like over here, just kind of. Sometimes he messes stuff up,
yeah,
but a lot of times
it's almost
really
like the movie's about that, in like a funny way. Whereas in this, it's like she's actively trying to solve the crime, but
right. But and I think,
near
well,
other
I mean, the dude is
crimes.
also actively trying to solve it. But I
That's
think
true.
the difference is, Honey is just like, because kind of what we were talking about earlier, we don't know enough about her character. Like the dude,
exactly.
I could tell you whether the dude wanted to go see One Battle After Another or not, just based on what we know about his character. The answer is yes, he would love to.
You know him and you know everybody in that movie. So
exactly.
Well.
Like Walter would not like One Battle After Another. He might like a little part. He likes Sean Penn. But with Honey Don't, like, I don't even know why she likes Aubrey Plaza. Like, I don't know why she does some of the things she does.
She really is like a 50s.
I don't know what she wants about anything.
She's like a 50s detective character. It's like, oh, she hates crime, she loves dames.
Yeah.
That's all we know about her,
And I do think there is a part of it where I wonder if she was played by a man, if some of the critiques would have been a little bit lesser. Because, like, that's one of the things that a lot of the reviews were saying, like, why does she hook up with everyone? And it's like, well, that's just kind of a detective noir thing. But I also think that there's some parts in this movie where they actively like work against some of the other parts of this movie, where it's like even at the very end, it implies that she's going to hook up with the French girl, and it's like, so she didn't learn anything. Like, what's like? What? Why do we watch this?
Stinger. I kind of feel, you know how normally I say that movies are too long. That's constantly. Another Margaret Qualley movie from last year, The Substance. Chop off 30 minutes. It's way better.
Yeah. Speaking of too long,
this movie needed to be longer. It's only 89 minutes, so nothing like breathes. Like you almost need to hang out in this world more than you do.
Totally. And it's like her hooking up the French girl at the end. It feels like that's like very plot centric, but it's like I have no problem with her hooking up with as many girls as she wants to, but it's like what we were kind of saying earlier, it's like it just doesn't really add that much to like what she's doing, and like the French girl is like just kind of confusing because I don't even know how she was involved in the movie that much, anyways. And there's also a part where they're talking about how Honey's like a heavy drinker, and it's like show me her at the bar getting like twisted.
Yeah, show me her waking up with a hangover one time, for the love of God.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just make her the noir detective.
And
she just seems like a chill girl who lives next door.
I also want to say that I am also in support of Margaret Qualley hooking up with as many girls as she wants. But yeah, I think that's the big thing, is like it's the thing where they've put her in this mold of the hard nosed, they hate life, they just drink, like everything's in service of that day. You're drinking with the girl that you're gonna hook up with, and the next morning you're gone before they even. But Honey's character is like a very loving, nurturing person,
right?
Yeah.
And so it's like it's the same thing with Aubrey Plaza, where it's like, now that we talked about it, where she's the killer, it's like I kind of understand a little bit better why she was like constantly hitting on Honey, but she couldn't pretend to have a better personality where we see her like she's super Aubrey Plaza, like funny and quirky, and then we see hints of her being real strict about certain things, like don't do that, like stop it,
but
don't mention God or something.
Yeah, exactly. But here it's like she's both supposed to be someone that Honey is actively pursuing. Let me remind you, Honey looks like Margaret Qualley, and someone who Jack whatever is supposed to be pursuing. So it's like thank you, Jack Antonoff. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's just who she likes. Ugly people. Sorry, Jack Antonoff. Make better album.
He's a very talented producer.
We're all jealous of you, Jack. We're sorry. We love your music. We love Taylor Swift.
I like that song about how he wants to get better.
I do want to say, and to make it up to Jack, this movie ends with one of my favorite things that any movie can ever do. It ends with a song called Honey Don't, where they just keep being like, honey don't do that. Honey, and I was like, this again.
Oh yeah.
What movie were you guys making that this is the end credit song? Like, what movie did you think you were playing?
This really is like there's like 5 different movies here, and I kind of like all of them, and none of them like coalesce.
And to me, I think like, okay, so now I'll reveal why I want to talk
not the Chris
about...
Evans movie. I don't like that movie. But anyway.
Well, I would have even enjoyed that one if they had put a little bit more like backstory into it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now why I want to cover up Hurry Up Tomorrow and Honey Don't. Because next month, like every year, we are going to do our top 10 movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had not have covered these movies, they would have been in my top 10 movies.
You would have had to.
I really like. Hurry Up Tomorrow. I saw that movie like 5 times. I love that movie. It works so well.
You're really gonna try to justify putting Hurry Up Tomorrow next to One Battle After Another. Get out of here.
Yeah, it goes like this: Hurry Up Tomorrow, One Battle After Another, Superman. And Honey Don't. I feel like and maybe it's like me being like combative because I saw the reviews of this. I almost because I saw this movie in theaters and I almost didn't go watch it because of how bad the reviews are. And I liked Drive Away Dolls, but like it was like I don't know if I like it enough to watch it in theaters. And so I decided to go watch it. And I mean, there is, to me, the good parts outweigh the bad parts. I really like Margaret Qualley's performance. I like the character of Honey if it had been like a little bit tweaked to be a little bit more consistent. I think that's the thing. If everyone had been tweaked this way by a hair to be more consistent, this movie would have been one of the best movies that these guys have ever made.
I think but
it's not there yet.
It's like I want them to make a third and just actually nail it, because I don't think either Drive Away Dolls or this like succeed as movies, but it's like they get like so close in like 7 different categories, you know, and to me.
They both kind of have the same problem of like inconsistent character moments where like in the other one they're sometimes best friends but then they hook up but then they don't act like they're the same age at any point, you know. And in this one you have Aubrey Plaza, like we've talked a lot about that, even Margaret Qualley. Like I wish that they had almost taken out one of the characters and made either the sister or Chris Evans have a bigger role so that we had more of a reason, like take out Charlie Day, give those scenes to the sister, make whoever like make it a generic
or like make her assistant actually like part of it, like the assistant could even have been like the sounding board, but she's just in 2 scenes. I don't know, this
and it's like maybe like even like the assistant could have been like had like a crush on her or something and like been like really sweet to her, and that could have been like Margaret Qualley's turned off by someone who actually wants to like, impress her, and she only likes Aubrey Plaza who is weird. Like that could have been interesting. I mean, that's nitpicky,
and it almost could have, and like even if they had done like maybe she is always going after these evil like random like, you know, the criminals of the underworld, that's who she hooks up with, and so she meets Aubrey Plaza and she's like, oh, I finally like a girl who's like normal and who's like straight laced. She's a cop. She's not even like a bad cop because she's in the evidence room. And so this way, when the reveals turn, it's like, oh, that would make sense because you are attracted to people who are hiding a secret life. So you thought that you were changing, but actually you weren't. At least that's something. But like here, it's just like
it would have been a connection, you know?
Yeah. Like, why is her hair so greasy? Was the only thing I was thinking every time.
Also, I feel like, I don't know, you should either make a movie sexier if it has this much sex in it, or take out the sex because it's all gross sex. You know,
yeah, it's like, not very like. It's like, what am I getting out of this?
Like that's not like all those Chris Evans scenes aren't funny enough to justify how much you have to see them. I don't know.
The mirror one is hilarious.
Yeah, and they go on.
The mirror one is funny, but then there's 2 more. Like it's like,
and there's also like a scene. So like there's a like at the very end, she has her gun pointed at Aubrey Plaza and she shoots her right in the head. But they're like this far apart, and then there's like a 3-minute scene where Charlie Day's like, that was a good shot, couldn't have done that shot if I was you. It's like she literally just pointed and shot. Like she also had shot her twice already in the chest, so it's like she wasn't surviving.
Yeah, she's
like,
gonna get her.
If anything, I would have been like, why didn't you just unload on her? Like, were you saving your bullets for someone else? Like, shoot her 1 billion times. You're Honey don't.
Honey do.
But I do think that either, like, I think if you're a fan of cinema, especially if you're a fan of the Coen brothers, you should watch both this one and Drive Away Dolls, and even Macbeth.
Yeah.
It kind of shows, like, the sensibilities
what
of
they
these
brought.
people.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Compare,
and I think, like, it almost feels, it's kind of crazy, and I think this is Tricia Cooke's contribution, but this feels like the last days. It feels like the last ones. It feels like someone's very first movie where they're like, they want to stick out, but they also like, they're trying, like, you know, that person was writing the script and they're like, this is fucking fire. Like, oh my God, this twist. There's no zombies. And so to me, I think that's impressive that like someone, I mean, Ethan Cohen is not a newbie in any sense of the word, but the fact that he's able to make this movie that's kind of messy, it's a little bit amateurish, like those title sequences where we're just driving through the city and just showing.
It's just so.
I could do that with MS Paint. Like that's not hard. And there's even parts like, because they're like adding the names to the signs and stuff, and there's just a part where you could tell they didn't time it right, so they just freeze frame.
Yeah.
And add the name. And it's like, hell yeah, guys. It's kind of I kind of watch this the same way you watch like a David Lynch movie, where it's like when people are like, well, how do you think he could get away with that effect? It's like, because he didn't care if he got away with it or not. He put it in there because he needed that effect. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening here, where it's like, you might not have liked Honey Don't, but I know that Tricia Cooke and Ethan Cohen liked Honey Don't, and it kind of makes you appreciate it a little bit more. I don't know if it makes you appreciate it enough for you to watch the whole thing. But it's a Peacock. Everything is on streaming
still might
eventually.
Be frustrated, but you know, you see their intent, and that's why you almost like you're like, oh, come on.
That's why I wanted to cover it and talk about it, because I think, I don't know, you see, like I saw Fantastic Four, and that there was no sex toy washing in that movie.
Yeah, and there's 50 people in that one.
But like, there was no risks taken, you know, and it's like, it's kind of like in boxing where it's like, there's some boxers who are just going for points, and there's some boxers who are going for knockouts. And I don't care about the points boxers because that's a boring fight. Knockout fighters, good or bad, you know what you're getting into.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's my plea to watch Honey Don't and watch The Empty Space on a Tubi and Peacock. Yeah.
We're a podcast of big swings for sure.
Yeah.
We love a big swing here at the Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
But so check out Honey Don't. I don't remember when this is going to play. I assume.
Honey Do, watch it.
We're still a couple of weeks from Christmas. We're 1 week away from Christmas. We'll see what we cover next week. And then for the end of the year. And then our top 10 movies of the year is coming. So wait for that. But we will talk to you next time on the brand new improved The Bomb Squad, where we don't do anything, but there's just more of you here.
Oh wait, you should also Honey do like and subscribe to the podcast.
Honey do
comment
like and
if you
subscribe.
want.
That's our new name.
I'm getting them all out at the end before he can end the episode.
Great job.